Greetings, I'm Andrea Aste, the author and creator of the Book of Shadows. Welcome back to my Renaissance Steampunk world. Today we are in the most magical of places, the Alchemist Tower. It's the right place to talk about the most magical aspect of tarot cards, their meanings. Tarot cards are constellations of meanings. They are a complex system of symbols and images with reference to popular culture, history, philosophy and art. There are many ways of reading tarot. We can analyze every symbol in a card and then the way they combine together, or we can see tarot as allegories. We can study every card alone or putting it in correlation with the others and dive into this way a compositional meaning. We can have psychological readings or connect the cards to literature and philosophies of other cultures. There are many systems of interpretation and rules, but today I would like to talk about a free association technique. A pioneer of this technique was Italo Calvino, an Italian writer. John Updike, an American novelist, said Calvino was a genial and brilliant writer. He took fiction into new places where it had never been before and back into the fabulous and ancient sources of narrative. Very flattering. In 1973, Calvino wrote the Castle of Crossed Destinies. The novel tells the stories of travelers who met by chance in a castle in the middle of a forest. When they reached the castle, they discovered that they were mysteriously unable to speak. When language fails them, they must speak instead using tarot cards to recount their own tales. Tarot in this way are used in a multidimensional way and are interpreted by the travelers based on their images but also on their relationship to each other. The novel was written in two parts, each using a different style tarot deck as the overarching structural element. The first part is created around the Visconti Sforza deck, the second one around the Tarot of Marseille. It is an amazing and whimsical quest in how meaning is created through images, symbols and allegories. In an interview, Calvino told us, "I published this book to be free of it. It has obsessed me for years. I began by trying to line up tarots at random to see if I could read a story in them. I realized that tarot were a machine for constructing stories. I thought of a book. I thought of constructing a kind of crossword puzzle made of tarots instead of words. I find the Castle of Crossed Destinies an inspiring way to read tarot and create art. I consider Calvino my artistic father. I used his technique in the creation of the Book of Shadows Renaissance Steampunk world. After having painted the tarot, I decided to realize the Alchemist manuscript, a sort of journal in which the alchemist wrote the experiments and discoveries that led him to invent the first tarot deck. I created every page, covering it with illustrations, notes and symbols of an invented cipher. I drew it freely without thinking about anything in peculiar. I set it as a rule. I drew whatever came into my mind, respecting only the structure I wanted the book to have, that is to say, the sections of different arguments: cosmology, alchemy, history of an ancient civilization, and tarot. When I finished, I opened the manuscript and decided to follow Calvino's steps, writing fantasy short stories about every page, interpreting freely its symbols and illustrations, and then I decided to present them as the decoding of the manuscript. A very special friend selected and read two of these short stories from the cosmology section. John Matthews, a famous and prolific writer, an expert of ancient lores and myths, and of course of tarot.
The solar system. One can only understand what is coherently ordered according to a governing principle. Anything outside of that is unintelligible. This is the arcane and deepest essence of the Latin verb comprehendo, enclose. The words we use in common dialects to indicate that we understand derive from that verb. Our minds can only understand or enclose reality in a litany of ideas and concepts, and what cannot be enclosed inexorably remains outside. Thus I do not marvel that we cannot explain many things, as the mind must be open to the world, not closed. How can the universe in its magnificence be squeezed into such a small mind as ours? Often, without using any enclosing principle, I have attempted to trace the movements of the cosmic animals in this slice of the solar system. The result was merely scribbles and ant trails, incongruent arabesques, all entwined and knotted together. There is no escape route from what we are. Thus, I can only surrender and trace the movement of the planets by enclosing it in the narrow space of a geometric order. Phases of the moon. I have no inkling of which animal transports the moon. Might it also be a cosmic pachyderm, an interstellar winged animal, a cosmic whale? I haven't the slightest idea of its nature, neither do I know how the moon is carried. On the back of an animal, clutched in its claws, ensnared in its fangs? I admit my ignorance. Like my cartographer friend, I can only say, hic sunt leones. However, there is a question that torments me. Why is this animal never visible? Is it a question of perspective, or is there something deliberately behind this mystery? Years ago I met a merchant returned from Cathay. He told me the sages there had a saying, if mankind had all the answers, it would be forever stupid. Thus I can do nothing else but continue to search this cosmic hodgepodge for traces to validate my conjectures.
Thank you, John, again, thank you. You can find more information about this in the documentary The Book of Shadows and inside the art book included with the tarot deck published by Lo Scarabeo. Thanks for watching. If you like it, please subscribe and share. I would love to hear from you, so please leave your comments below and let me know what you are thinking. See you next time, when we'll unveil some more mysteries of tarot, so be sure to come back and till then, bye bye, ciao!